Are we live? Oh my gosh, here we go. Okay. I did it again. Oh my gosh, Reset Monday. So I go live 9:40 on Monday, and every Monday morning. It's 9:43 because I jumped in and I realized I did it again, second week in a row. I scheduled for 9:40 p.m. Now, I know for a fact I looked at it and I toggled it to AM yesterday, and I think it toggled itself back. So, I've done this enough times that I'm like, no, I know I did it right. And then I think it was doing something crazy on me. So, anywho, then I had to delete the stream to LinkedIn because LinkedIn doesn't allow you to edit times. So here I am. We're 3 minutes late. It's all good. So, where is everybody today? Hey, Kenny, here I am. Yes, I set it for PM again. Did you see that? Did you catch that? Crazy, crazy stuff. I feel like we were just together. How are you this fine morning? You guys, you're everybody. I know. I'm here with all my friends. Yeah, I'm going to be hyper laser focused and make sure it doesn't do that to me again. So, Laurie, how are you? Oh my gosh. You and Phil, it's nice to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Yeah, good to see you coming in off of the Facebook page. So that's great. I miss you guys. I hope all is well. And yeah, good to see you. Hey, Bohemian, nice to see you. We'll let everybody funnel in here. And today we're talking about movement, which I think is appropriate for today. Hey, Kathleen, because we've got this gorgeous flippin' day here in Michigan. I don't know how it is in the rest of your world, but it's so beautiful. The sun is shining. Yesterday was beautiful. It was a great weekend. I mean, it's meteorological spring, May 1st. It's not official spring, but it's so great. Like when you see the sun and it starts to warm up, my flowers are coming up, not the buds yet, but the leaves from the lilies are coming up. And so it's just so great to see this like emerging life. And if you guys are jumping in here, go ahead and please hit that thumbs up button for me and share out the live so that I can continue to grow. I sure do appreciate all your support and appreciate you jumping in and asking questions. And so today we're talking about, Central Illinois. Yeah. So you've got, it's that same weather pattern coming across. And it's, my gosh, it's amazing. So I know, people are going to be like global warming, down with global warming. I'm like, listen, we got to live for today, right? We have to live for today, do our best, be the best humans we can be today. And then, shoot for being an even better human a little bit more tomorrow. So that's all we can do, right? We're not gonna fix and change a climate crisis, but we certainly can embrace it when it happens and do our own part as humans. So just kind of how I feel about it, and when you can't control something like that, you can control what's going on in your own little world. So do that. So today with movement, it's a beautiful day. My plan at lunch, and this is where I don't get to do this through the winter, and it bums me out, but every day I'm at my office, which is 3 days a week, there's a soccer field behind a church 2 doors away from me. And so I will take Bentley over there. He's scratching away. Hear him clank, clank, clank. I put a little thing on his tags to keep them from clanking, but we lost it. So I take him over there at lunch to walk him around, let him run the field, get his energy out. It's so great. And, we do that 2 to 3 times a week. In addition to, I go to the gym twice a week, and then I'm at yoga twice a week, and then I walk. And I love, love, love walking. I always thought walking was for old people. So, yes, the emerging life in your house and hearing the birds singing. Yeah. So I always thought walking was for old people. And I don't know. I'm 57. So does that mean like, have I become old that I love to walk? I just love walking. I find it really calming. I find it's cathartic. You know, you get out there, you're in nature. You've heard me say this before on previous broadcasts. When you get out in nature and you're walking, don't put your earbuds in. Don't put a headset on. Don't listen to a podcast. Don't listen to a book. Don't listen to music. Be out there and listen to the sounds of nature. Appreciate the path that you're taking, the calmness, the quiet. We are in such chaos every single day that it's so important that you get quiet. That's a big part of it. It doesn't always have to be pushing for progress every day, mental, emotional work and progress. So I encourage you to do that. So we go out and we're going to go do that. We'll probably only have about a half hour to run him today, but it's better than zero. We went out to the dog park yesterday, had about an hour out there, and I get 2 to 3 miles in, and in addition to everything else. So I'm just elated, and it's energizing. It energizes me for the afternoon. It's like this calming energy. If that makes any sense whatsoever, you burn up the stress from the morning and it resets your nervous system for calmness, but having more energy for the afternoon, so you don't leave so exhausted. And I'm telling you, I think everybody that has a dog, right? It's hard to not walk without, or to walk without a dog, isn't it? I mean, it makes it more joyful. I would certainly say when you have a dog, you're out there and you're like connecting with your animal, and it's pretty amazing. So I wanted to talk about movement today because of this is the opportunity. And if you haven't been moving, you need to get moving with or without your dog. So movement is so important to everything that we do. We were meant to move. Our bodies were meant for a certain amount of stress in order to adapt and grow. And by grow, I mean, your bones, your muscles. You can't grow muscle without putting stress. So think about that, right? If you have big muscles, it's because you've put a lot of stress on them, the work that has to go in. And then, so that's movement and stress. And then we have movement for our joints. And a lot of times we get degeneration from old injuries, but we have to keep moving because we've got to get the blood flowing through there. So one of the things that I want you guys to do is just, if you look at my wrist, my forearm, and you see the muscles moving, you can hold your arm up there, right? You see those muscles moving. Those muscles, they start to get really tight and really tense. So the more we use our muscles, the more tension and tightness. So think about sitting at a desk, or maybe you're using your hands all day. You get a lot of tension in your neck and your shoulders. When those muscles become super tight, it's a lot harder to get blood flowing through there, which means it's a lot harder to get nutrients and oxygen through there, which means they don't relax and they're not as flexible as they should be. So movement is so critical. And so we can't just go out and walk. You've got to be adding in the flexibility. And especially as we get older, the movement with flexibility is critical to maintaining longevity. And when you have flexibility, as you move into your older years, what that means is that there's less opportunity for slips, trips, and falls. There's greater opportunity for healing should you have some kind of an injury. When you're not as flexible, you're not as adaptable, and your body needs to be able to adapt. So think about those two words. Do you have adaptability? Can you improve your flexibility? I think we all can. And then the more we can improve our flexibility, the more we can improve our adaptability. So getting out and walking, that's movement. So that gets blood flowing. And then you can do yoga, stretches, exercises, anything that will open up and stretch and elongate those muscles, put tension into the joints. This is why I love yoga so much, because there's a lot of it's tension and stretching, and tension and stretching. And it's like squeezing a sponge and filling it again, and squeezing and filling. So you're pulling nutrients in, you're pushing waste products out, you're pulling oxygen in, you're pushing CO2 out, you're pulling blood flow in, you're pushing blood flow out. So I like tension. So flexibility, tension, and stretching, because if you can stand on one leg and bend over to stretch your hamstring, but now you're under tension, now it's that stress that's causing, that's going to tighten the muscle, but you're forcing it to stretch in that position. So that's a little bit more of a dynamic type of a training. And that's something too that you should train for, because a lot of people can't do tension. It's called time under tension. So stretching while you're under tension, like that. So there's Bohemian says, quiet and walking for all things. Regarding a question regarding movement, my knees flare up. I'd love to walk it off, but it just makes it tighter. So your knees flare up when you walk. Is that what you're saying? Or does it, and it doesn't go away? Nailed the question before I asked it. Okay. I lost it. I wasn't reading ahead there. So good. I'm glad I answered your question. Yes. Yes, it does. It does. You might need to reacquire some of those. Yes. One of the things that I do before I work out, or even in the morning, or, hey, Uncle Al, nice to see you. I do deep squats, just, on my own, or you can do it if you have bands. It's helpful to use bands to, if you need help, if you can't get up really well. But deep squats are so important for, again, getting deep into those joints, training beyond just a 90-degree angle. Again, when you can get deep into the joints, you're bending, you're extending, you're flexing, and you're squeezing the cartilage. You're squeezing the smaller tendons and ligaments that don't have a lot of blood flow. So this is really important if you can start to do more things like that actually cause stress in the degrees of motion that we don't normally get into. We don't normally get into a deep squat and just sit there, right? So a yoga squat is you're just sitting, your butt's almost to the ground and your knees are right up next to your ears. Now, I understand a lot of you can't do that. I do have a squat video on my page that I put up quite a while ago. Let me see if I can find it. And this talks about how to train yourself for that deep squat. And so there's different variations for you where you can, you start to train your body. Where is my stretching playlist? If you can't get into a deep squat, then you start with a chair. And then from a chair, you can go down a little bit further into onto a stool. So you're training yourself to get a little bit deeper each time. You can also lie on your back and, you know what, I'm just going to share this whole thing because I can't get down into it. Okay, this is the whole stretching playlist. So you guys can go there. There's a lot of really good stretches on there. And let me see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, you did. That's right. So you can get into a deep squat, right, Kenny? Didn't you say you were able to do that? So I make sure that, again, before every workout or in the morning, I do 10 to 20 deep squats just with my body weight, slowly and controlled, because I don't want to lose that. And so this is why we often lose our flexibility, because we're not training. We're like, oh, I only have to do that if I go to the gym. You should be doing something that stresses you in a range that you're not normally in almost daily. So if you can start working on that deep squat, you can lie on your back, pull your knees into your chest. And when you do that, now you're not weight bearing, but you're moving that knee in and out and you're nourishing that knee joint. And that is a way to start to get your body used to being in that deep, deep range. Happy Max says, I have a seriously bad left knee, but squats help a lot. You'd think it wouldn't, but it strengthens. It's amazing, isn't it? So a lot of people won't go into a deeper squat because they say they have bad knees, and so they won't go into that deep squat because they think it's going to hurt them. But this is why there's different variations of it. There's gentle variations, and then you can start moving yourself into more stressful, if you will. So one of the things I started doing, there's a squat machine, the belt wraps around your waist at the gym, and I put 5 pounds on each side. I can't do a lot of weight with this. 10 pounds total. And I go all the way down. I drop my butt to the floor and I come up halfway. I drop again and then I stand up. And I do that 10 times. And I'll do 3 sets of those. And my knees are like, it hurts, but it feels amazing. So I'm starting now to work strength into those deep, deep ranges because again, slips, trips, falls as we get older and the ability to recover is critical. So start thinking about that when you have a seriously bad left knee, what can you do? What can't you do? Know your limitations and then work to get to as close to those limitations as possible so that you're not allowing the limitation to become worse. You know, you've got to bump up to it as best as you possibly can. So Kenny says, once I got down there, thinking, yeah. So practice that, Kenny. Just practice it. You can use a chair. You know, sometimes if you need support, that's great. Use a chair. See if you can get down there. Use the chair to help you get up. And then do that multiple times. Do it every single day. And you'll start to notice this incredible strength. And your knees and your hips will actually thank you for it. So right on for sure to stretch. Yes, reaching behind my back periodically has helped so much. Finding that video. Yes, the sheet stretch where you throw the sheet behind your back and you stretch your shoulder up that way. That one's excellent. Best of luck to you, Uncle Al. Sending you all good vibes. And I'm like, it's like I'm in your head. Yeah. So yeah, if you can do it without support. Some mornings I go in, my knees are not liking me and I'll use the TRX bands or I'll use, you know, a chair, you know, some kind of a bench or something, and I'll do those. And then I'll step away from that and I'll do it without any support. But this is where, I love to just really impress upon you to get into your knees with that level of movement, get over to that shoulder stretch where the sheet goes behind the back and get that movement in there. And then there's way more on movement, but I just wanted to encourage you today with this beautiful sunshine to get out and make sure that you can take advantage of it. Go out and do some squats in the park, do some squats in the field. And yes, I appreciate you being here, Bohemian. Thank you so much. So, all right, I got people at my door. I want to know about your movement. What are you doing today? And how deep can you squat? Keep me posted. Go watch that video, the squat video, and then let me know how you do with it. All right, you guys, have an amazing day. I'll see you Thursday at 1 for Chiropractic is Sexy, and then back again next Sunday for Sunday night Q&A. I have something that I'm trying to get lined up for you guys for next Sunday. I think you're really going to like it. So, all right, talk to you soon. Love you all so much. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share, all those things. I appreciate you being here. Talk to you soon.